Okay, Asia session live. Currently looking at gold. Did my Asia session watch list in a separate video. In that video, I mentioned that Euro Oz was my favorite. I think Aussie NZD was my second. And if I don't see anything, I'm just going to be scalping gold. And so I looked at Euro Oz, was interested at this M15 breakout bar that closed below the H8 breakout level. This is a pullback continuation move on the H8. Unidirectional bias, and I wanted to take this down, but there was no entry price, just retraced and then got back above this range level. There was a range on the H1. Inside bar creates a range. And once it got back above, no longer interested in sells. Right now I have a alert here at the top. I want to see price come up and fake out the high. And then I'd be possibly interested again, but I think it might be, let me see the time here. 1 more hour until the H8 bar, so I'd rather wait for this. And we are in ranges here, not the best one. Would be good if price triggers that previous day high, and then I might have a look at it again. But the more I look at this, the more I don't think I like this anymore. So we came back above, yeah. So I have an alert here. I'll take a look at this, but I don't think I'll be interested until it gets to that previous day high. Right, so nothing here on Euro Oz. Aussie NZD I liked because the H4 gave me everything I wanted. Bullish directional bias. Momentum time frame triggered that previous week low, and we're currently above it. Market expansion, we don't have a breakout on the setup time frame, which is a monthly, but we are breaking out of the current previous month high. So market is in expansion, and weekly we have a breakout of the previous bar. So market's expanding. I have everything I'm looking for. We have a trend retracement setup. Trend retracement setups, I want to see price retrace back to the breakout level, which was a little too far. But once we've triggered that H1 low, I don't mind. But we also have faked out the previous day high. Would rather see price get back above previous day high, and I have an alert here. But more importantly about this one, if you fake out one side of that trend retracement bar and you get back under, very often this is going to be a breakout bar on the higher time frame. So I'm on the H8 right now, and if it closes like this in 1 hour, this is going to be a breakout bar. And I find trading breakout bars are easier to me than trading a breakout that has a fake out on it. So I would rather wait for this H8 bar to close and trade the trend retracement on the H8, which I trade on the M5. Breakout level is closer, so it makes more sense. However, again, we are in ranges here. So it would be nice. Ideal scenario is for price to close above the range in 1 hour and then give me the retracement back to that breakout level and then take the trade from down here all the way back up. But still also a little bit tricky because we have ranges where in between these higher time frame levels, not really ideal. So if I don't see anything, I'll just stick with gold. So gold, 7 more minutes until the H1 closes. And what I'm looking right now, I'm scalping on gold because I did not see anything on higher time frames here. Yeah, I did not see anything on higher time frames, but I did like that we faked out one side of the range. So I do expect price to continue on up. So I'm looking for buys. These are more discretionary, but still using my normal trading style, but not relying on the indicator. I'm relying more on my how I read price action. Okay, so what I'm looking at for right now, and since I'm scalping, I'm trading at lower time frames. Have a breakout over here, followed by an inside bar. So this is a trend continuation. When you have a breakout followed by an inside, then I'm looking for price to come down, trigger the H8 low in this case, which it has, as well as the H2 low. And now I'll take it back up to the fake out level. But in this case, it was an inside bar, so I want to take it all the way back up to the top. Did not have that move. And right now I'm interested because it is pulling back to this H2 breakout level. So if I get another reversal from down here, then I don't mind taking it on a lower time frame. So it all depends on how this H1 closes. I want to see this close and break out because we're in a range here, and then I want to see price retrace back to the top. All right, so essentially this would have been a nice entry. I wasn't watching the market at this time, and I don't really like to scalp lower time frames unless I see nothing else on the higher time frames. I thought there could be possible move on Euro Oz, didn't happen, and so now I'm just going to be looking at gold. My philosophy in trading is if I'm in front of the computer, I want to be making some money. So I can trade every time frame exactly the same. I can drop all the way down to the 5 seconds and make some stuff over here. Doesn't matter to me, but I don't want to be wasting my time here. So gonna be looking for a move here on gold. I do like this, and since I have bullish bias, I want to be taking this up, faking out that low. Any time it fakes out a low and it gives me momentum to the upside, I'm going to be looking for an entry there. So might happen on this H1, might happen on the H2. Let's see what momentum does. Okay, so just going to set some alerts here, and I'll be back when these things get triggered. Okay, so right now we don't have quick bias over here. So H2 is a counter trend breakout. So this is bearish on the H2. H8 is breakout continuation. So this is what I like, the breakout continuation move. What I want to see is that H2 get back in the right direction. So if it does that, then everything will be satisfied. I already have momentum triggered. I already have market expansion. We are in ranges, but in gold right now we're in ranges, and I'm trading ranges basically. I want to go from one side of the range all the way to the other. So when I'm trading ranges, I want to go from one side to the other. Did not catch the one down here, but try to get in on these pullbacks. So we are pulling back. I really like this structure actually, and I'm looking for the H2 to get back in alignment. And so I have these lower time frames. 15 second, I'm looking at the M5 momentum, so I can see how the momentum of the M5 is shifting. You can see how M5 was bearish, and now it's slowly getting tighter, and so there's a possible false breakout move over here. So I actually might go for that. If I'm scalping, I'm gonna scalp at really low time frames, and let's see what happens here. But I'm not gonna take anything until this H1 bar closes. Maybe I'll put an alert up here. And 5 second is where I trade the M5 bar. If I, for whatever reason, if I miss this or I don't like this, then I'll be trying to get in on trending tracements on the 5 second. So I trade all the time frames exactly the same. There's no difference. It's the only difference is how fast the lower time frames move. Okay, but right now nothing for me to do. All right, so H1 bar closed, took out that range. So now I want to see price get back above the H2 low, and this would give me unidirectional bias on the H2 breakout level, and peak level would be aligned if that happens. So then we'd have alignment between the time frames. So this is what I'm looking for, and this is a breakout continuation. If it does that, breakout continuations tell me that the peak is not locked in, and so I'd want to take that trade all the way back up. So let me see over here on the 15 seconds. This is where I'm looking at momentum shift, and we already have an entry right here, false breakout on the M5, looking for continuation. 15 seconds is a low time frame, so I might as well just wait for that 15-second bar to close above this level, and then I will be in. Looking at the 5 seconds here, I see some level over here, so probably above here is where I'd be looking to enter. Okay, so nothing yet. And I'm just looking at the line chart because looking at the bars is a little bit confusing. Only thing I care about is closing price. I don't care about how the bars close, the colors of them. I just want to know where it closes, if it closes above the levels I'm looking for. So it has come down, triggered the H1 low, so it rejected the move coming down. So that's something that I want to see. I want to see rejection of a bearish move. And so if price can flip and momentum uh, shift above the breakout level, that lets me know that momentum is kicking in, that I can get in early over here. Still below H1 breakout level, but uh, these are based off of different time frames. These are definitely more risky, but if I can get a tight stop, then the risk to reward is worth it. Okay, so still nothing here. Let me just check your Oz. Yeah, still stuck in that range. Aussie NZD still 1 more hour to go here. Definitely won't be taking anything here. Even if it gives me an entry, I'm not going to take it. Waiting for that H8 bar. If you look at it, every bar, most of the time you're going to find that at closing price, there's going to be wicks. You're seeing lots of wicks, which tells me that there's always going to be retracements. Almost every single bar has some type of retracement. So I don't want to get in too close to the closing price, closing time. Okay, price is continuing down. It might be an H2 move. 1 more hour here till the H2 closes. But if there's momentum, I don't mind this one. So I don't think new M5 breakout level is down here. Need to see rejection of a low in order to time the trade. Okay, so we have one here. We've rejected the low. It's a breakout reversal. This is a false breakout. If this continues on, and no, it did not. So nothing yet. Okay. Looking for closures here. So I always wait for candles to close. When you do your back testing, you always back test on closed candles. So I'm more confident just to wait for these to close. Okay, so this closed, and this gives me the bullish bias, and I entered price, went above it. So I already got in, stop loss at the low, and I'm looking for a move all the way back up to at least this high, and that's going to be my trade based off of this candle. And let's see if this wants to continue up. If it goes down, then most likely it's going to be an H2. And if it's going to be an H2 move, then this can possibly be two opposite facing fake out bars, which would create a range. So actually, this is kind of a risky move. Actually, any scalp is going to be risky. I don't like to take. A lot of people like scalps, very short, 2R, 1R, something like that. I believe in holding your trades longer on scalps. It's less forgiving or more forgiving if you have a lower win rate. So this is going to be the trade that I'm waiting for, and let's see that if this goes. A almost 9 hour move up to that top, but I do want to hold it up to the high because we faked out low of the range. Which time frame was it? Okay, let me investigate here. I remember seeing H4 range, so I do want to hold it up to the high of this range. To the previous day high. But I'll see how price behaves at the high of the current one. I don't assume that these things will just break. All right, so that's the move. Higher time frames now. Once you got above the H2 low, everything is bullish, everything I'm looking for. If you close and break out here, this would be a trend retracement, and that's it. Okay, so your Oz, not, well, getting closer, but I think I think I'll skip this. It's not really the best here. Not really a pair that I would scalp also in that way. And then Aussie and ZD not ready yet. So that's it. And so here you go, trend retracement. This is where I can drop down to the 5 second time frame and find an entry. Actually, maybe I'll do that just to show how this works. So trend retracement, I trade on the bar itself. M5 bar, I trade on the 5 seconds. So what I'm looking for in a trend retracement move is for price to retrace back to the breakout level, which is right over here, close to it, fake out the momentum time frame, which is the M1, which is right over here, and then um, find an entry pattern. So the entry patterns I've shown many times before are one of these ones. Trend retracements are always going to be breakout trades. So I'm looking for a higher time frame breakout, and I'm looking for a reversal pattern, continuation pattern, or a pullback pattern. Right now, the breakout level of the M1 is last breakout bar is over here, so it's actually down low. So this is not ideal. What I want to see is an M1 close in bearish breakout. So I want to see this one close in bearish breakout. And if it does that, then this breakout level gets pushed up, and then this could be the entry. Okay, so it's doing that right now. Let's see how much more time, 20 seconds here. And let's see if this will give me another entry. I might just size in here. Okay, so still a bit of time, well, 10 seconds here. Let's see what I'm looking for. Let me just... All right, close and breakout. Breakout level gets flipped. Looking for a rejection of the move down. We've already triggered M1 low. I want to see this start to flip. And if we can get back above the M1 breakout level, that is the entry. So technically, trend retracement setups are going to be from down, stop loss at the low, and you're targeting the high. So this would be a 1R. So this would be your traditional scalp move if it can get back above. But again, I don't like to trade like that. It puts too much pressure on your win rate. So I would rather just hold it. Okay, so we're stuck in here right now. I'm waiting for a price to flip. Okay, so at this point, we drop down even further. We have a breakout reversal move right here, and this is a counter trend breakout. If we can stay above, that's going to be a counter trend breakout, and this could be the very first entry that I could take because it tells me that the M1 has turned bullish. We're breaking out above. Okay, so now it's coming down. Okay, so no entries yet. Still waiting for price to get back above here. Let's see, M1 closes here in 5 seconds, which will push the breakout level down. Might come down even further, and I'd like to see a rejection down here. Okay, so it's triggered that, wanted to reverse. Okay, so now this trade is in trouble because this closed as an inside bar. Possibility that this can come down. When you're scalping, there's always it's very risky ones, so you never want to keep your risk size the same. Risk size high, definitely want to risk lower. But if it does do that, then it just lets me get in at a lower price. So still don't mind this. Just want to see. Looking for the same things here. Okay, let me just double check here. We're below H2 low. I have the M5 momentum on the 15 seconds. We are bearish now. We flipped the breakout level. There was no rejection at the top though. And I'm going to see how this H2 bar. So actually, I'll keep the 5 second here and put the H2 over here. And the flip of the M30. This is a safer move, but I got in as early as I could here. Okay, waiting for the entry. Okay, so price came down, got in drawdown a little bit, but now we faked out the low. This is a fake out retracement move and flipping this level right here. This is an entry if it continues on. Looking for this candle to close, 15-second closure above here. So this is a pullback continuation. That's a unidirectional cycle. Tells me that price is pushing strong. Got in over here. So sized in to the trade. So got in a little bit of trouble here, but And this is exactly why you want to hold your trades longer, because if these go through 8.5 hour plus 5.5 hour, that's what I'll get if this gets all the way through, and if it doesn't, then I just lose 2 hour. Not a big deal. So 14 hour if it makes it through, and 2 hour if it doesn't. And so this is how I do my scalping. But these are very risky, very aggressive. But I'm an aggressive scalper. I don't want to be trading at these time frames to get 1 hour, 2 hour. I want to get larger amounts. All right, so just gonna let this play out. Not gonna touch these things. See how it goes. Right here. All right, so gold moving nice. Here are the different places that people could possibly be looking for um, exits. Even here, actually, we're right at the H4 high. This would be a possible exit if you're depending on how you trade and how you manage your trades. For me, I got to do some things today. I'm going to be out for a little bit, so I'm just going to let this run. I get alerts on my phone, and I'll assess what I want to do, and I can exit my trades on my phone. But I think I'm done with Asia session, and I'll move on with my day. Okay, so again, for the trade, the reason why I took this trade, this is a more of a price action move. Um, Usually, I have a higher time frame bias, a very strong one. This one, today's Asia session, I did not see anything. I thought a Euro Oz was the best one, but when I was looking at it again, we're in ranges and everything, and probably not the best one. Aussie NZD, still 30 more minutes until I'll be looking at this. Um, and then otherwise, was focused on gold because I saw a breakout inside. This is a continuation move. I saw that the H8 was in breakout continuation. That's a unidirectional cycle. And then coming down, I wanted the H2 to get back in alignment with that H8. So this is what I was waiting for. Took a aggressive entry. When I'm scalping, I'm a lot more aggressive from down low, anticipating the move back up since we faked out the low of this range. Entered on, I think it was a 15 seconds. You know, the thing with how I trade is I treat every time frame the same, so I never remember which time frame I'm entering, even as I'm doing it. But I think it was this 15-second one over here, if I'm not mistaken. Was looking for momentum. I was looking at the M5 momentum, wanted to see it shift. Saw it shift over here. Took an entry here. Probably a safer one would be above breakout level, but took that aggressive one. Got into drawdown a bit, dropped down to 5 seconds because I wanted to trade that M5 bar. But then once we flipped this breakout level and we're below the M5 breakout level, that tells me that the M5 is bearish. So I do want to trade momentum in that case. Um, Back to momentum. I'm trading 5 second if the M5 breakout level is pushing in my direction, in my trade direction. But if the M5 is pushing opposite, I'm looking to trade momentum. And so I got in on momentum. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I went in on 15 seconds here. But that's the whole idea. Always look for momentum. If there's no momentum, there's no trade. We had momentum to the upside here. We flipped momentum here. M5 turned bearish over here. But once it got back in, this is where I re-entered, or not re-entered, but added in. Went through these levels and now just letting this play out. All based off of this low fake out all the way back high. A little bit tricky to understand, I think, compared to the other trades I usually take. This is more of a price action. This is how I kind of scalp. But the course is coming, and hopefully all these ideas and concepts will make a lot more sense once I start finalizing these things. All right, so that's it with the Asia session. I'm just gonna go on with my day, and then I'll be back for London. Just quick check again, Aussie NZD. This is starting to get close, but I think I'm not going to be sticking around for this. All right, so that's it, and I'll be back London.